We have a very special guest today. Now, I've been excited about this interview for some time. I'm so excited to welcome you and introduce everyone to your work. Dina Besic, she is the founder of Maxwell's Toy Box and an amazing client inside the Sprint Method. So we're going to share your story today, Dina, but I think to set the stage, tell us about your work and how you got started in the nonprofit sector. Welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Um, I am Dina Besic. I'm the founder of Maxwell's Toy Box. And it all started when our sweet boy Max was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia at the age of 2. And no surprise that our world just was turned completely upside down. What we thought was just a flu turned into us being into the emergency room and being diagnosed that same night.
Yep.
So Max is amazing. He had to endure a lot of hospital visits. Had a really, really long journey and just treatment
Hmm.
and just all that he's had to go through. And it all started with him and I being in the playroom of the oncology hospital where he's being treated.
Hmm.
And he was like, Mama, they don't have toys here. I mean, they don't have trains here. And he's like obsessed, still is with trains. And he was like, Can you buy a train table? And I was like, that's a great question, Max. Maybe. So I just kind of shared with my husband, I'm like, hey, I think I want to do a toy drive for the
Yeah.
oncology playroom so we can get those train sets in there. And he wanted like a play kitchen in there. He has lots of toys that he wanted in there. And that's kind of how it started. With just our family and friends and just different coworkers and neighbors. And
Yep.
we ended up raising 108 toys. So we got the train table in that oncology room which was amazing. And then he was hospitalized and he was like, "Oh mom, you got the train table." And that's kind of how Maxwell's Toy Box
How
started.
old was he when he first was diagnosed, and how old is he today?
Yeah. He was 2 when he was diagnosed and he is 5 now.
And tell everyone how he's doing.
He's doing awesome. We are done with treatment, which is amazing. I know happy dances all
No one
around.
can see if you're listening, you can't see that I'm doing the happy dance because I already knew this, but I think it's really important for everyone to hear where your family is and how
Yeah.
Maxwell's doing. Yeah.
Thank you. It's been a really, really long journey. He's had
Yeah.
so much happen. So to just be done with treatment, close that milestone.
Yeah.
It's not fully done until he is in full remission and he'll be monitored the rest of his
Yep.
life. So I always keep it real and kind of what the
Yeah.
childhood cancer looks like for a family, but this is such a big milestone for us.
It's
So
huge. Yeah.
we've been out and about, which is so amazing.
I remember when you were like, "He rang the bell." I was like, "Yes!" I feel also just really, really blessed that I have some family friends that their
Mhm.
child went through cancer at a very young age, under 3 years old. And so it's helped inform me on Maxwell's journey a bit and on the
Mhm.
challenges and how you sort of have that village and their child is now, gosh, like almost middle school age. And so but the conversation, it's not like you're like, done. We're never going, there's monitoring, there's visits,
Yes.
right. And so that has helped me kind of understand the trajectory of this isn't just
Mhm.
like, we're done by right. That being said, their child is doing amazing and it's just part of their history and it's something that they
Mhm.
look at. And also I see the community,
Yeah.
they are part of the cancer community and proud members, proud supporters of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that was one of the reasons why, I went to my husband. I'm like, hey, after like our second toy drive, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm turning this into a 501c3
I was
nonprofit.
just about to say that. You're like,
And
"So this is happening." And for, our listeners, you work full time, you have a
yes,
child, a toddler at this point going through cancer treatments, all of the things, world upside down. You're like, "So here's what we're doing.
yes.
We're gonna help other families. We're gonna do this." So what did husband say when you said that?
Hus- my husband Sonata is amazing. Also, he's probably like not surprised that I was like,
Yeah.
oh, by the way, we're doing this.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, what do we have to do?
Yeah.
And it's been so fun to watch Max just
Yeah.
interact. And whenever we do a toy drop, he's like, "Okay, mom, let's go do this." So, it's really kind of become like a family affair, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Um, it's really great to see him be so proud, and he's like, "Oh, we're taking toys to the kids at the hospital."
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
there's
been
let's walk people through the organization. So there's the
Mhm.
toy drops, and then tell us a bit more about the other services or programming.
Yeah. So the toy drops are really important because we fill a critical gap. So hospitals get toys during like the holiday season. They're nicely stocked up, but
Yep.
then usually around that May, June timeframe, they do tend to run out.
Yeah.
And we experienced that with our hospital where Max wanted to have a toy and they were like, "We're sorry, we just don't have anything right now."
Yeah.
And that just broke my heart completely. And I mean, not just for Max, but like, I'm like, oh gosh, I can imagine, there's so
Yeah.
many kids even when he was admitted on that floor. So we deliver toys during those gaps so that every child can receive something that brings them joy.
Yeah.
And then we have our joy packages, which are sensory tailored toys that are given to children as they are receiving chemo treatment. So imagine them sitting in the chair. It's just things to like touch and feel and really kind of help them with the entire
Yeah.
environment that they're in. So imagine, nurses coming in and, they got like two masks on, they got the whole,
Yeah.
like the gosh, what are they called?
PPE.
Yeah,
Like
thank
the
you. You know,
I only know this term, we were all the layman was taught this from
yes,
COVID. I'm
yes,
like, PPE.
yes. Like, how
Yes.
can I forget?
Yes.
So yeah, and just, like, imagine a two-year-old, right? And he was like, "Mama, what's like, why can't I see their face?" Just, like, all the questions a two-year-old
Yeah.
so I would just, like, bring him sensory,
Hmm.
like, tailored, like, toys, to just kind of help him through that, and then there's a little boy who was having trouble, and I just happened to have, like, extra things with me during
Yeah.
the time that he went, and I asked the mom, I'm like, "Hey, would you want this?" And she said, "Oh my god, yes." And then I saw that it also helped him kind of in that, like, moment and then, like, just that
Yeah.
hospital environment, which the nurses and doctors do a wonderful job. So that is one of our
Yeah.
programs, and, we've gotten such wonderful feedback that it's really used as a tool to
Hmm.
help children just navigate the stress and anxiety.
Yep.
And then last and certainly not least is we provide a $100 grocery gift card through our family support program, a $50 gas card,
Yep.
and then we buy a toy for the child in treatment, but all the siblings in the house as
I
well.
love it.
And the reason I love that is because we saw what our little girl, Lena, she was 6 months old when Max was diagnosed, and just how much her life
Yep.
has been very
Yep.
different. And we've also just seen how incredible she is, and I'm telling you, there's no one that makes Max feel better, like, after a long treatment day or, like, whatever it was, like, she just brought so much joy that it was really important to me that we find ways to support the entire
I think
family.
your lived experience saw the gaps, right? Saw the
Well,
gaps in we have the best, most warm doctors and nurses, and there's a
oh,
gap, right? We have amazing, generous people who think December, toy drive, and there's a gap the other months of the year. You see family, friends showing up and naturally probably doing everything they
mhm,
can and look thinking max, max, max. You see the
yeah,
gap in the sibling. You see the gap in I live in a major city,
mhm,
so I'm very close to two great children's hospitals.
mhm,
That's not normal, right? And so a
mhm,
lot of people may be driving in to get their child
mhm,
treatment. You're seeing a gap again in access to, they're using all their money to drive in. And by the way, we have to
mhm,
stay at a hotel. So you're seeing more gaps. So I just think your lived experience has found so many gaps and you've found ways to support families through
mhm,
that entire process. And it's really beautiful. You and I have been working together for I think just
mhm,
over a year. So I want to walk people through what made you join Sprint? Where were
mhm,
you? Like what had you been trying? Because we've basically outlined like this organization fulfills some incredible
mhm.
important gaps, but we can only fulfill them to this certain point if you're not funded, right?
Absolutely. And that was one of the important things when I started Maxwell's Toy Box, and I was telling my husband, I'm like, it isn't just another toy drive. It really is, what do families need?
Yep. Yep.
And gaps are we truly filling? And
Yep.
even now, as we're in this like post-treatment era, it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
there's
my
still
gosh, like
yeah.
that's a whole nother maybe podcast another day, but that's like a
Yeah.
whole kind of different arena. So we really pride ourselves in whatever gap we see, if we can fill it, we want to. And yeah, we've been working together for a year, and I'm so grateful. I initially started because you had amazing webinars that just really helped me as a
Yeah.
nonprofit leader. And I have to say, I work a full corporate job. It's very demanding. It's more
Yep.
than 40 hours a week.
Yep.
And like you said earlier, I'm a very proud mom. I'm a wife. I'm a daughter, friend, all the things, right? So when I watched your webinars, I was like, oh my gosh, like there's just so much like knowledge and expertise here. And I'm like, oh my God, if I'm getting this from a webinar, like I can only imagine what I can get like working with you one on one. And I knew I needed help, and I'm never afraid uh, to reach out. And yeah, I
Yeah.
joined. And I have to say, like, one of the best parts is one is obviously your support and your
Yeah.
mentorship. But when we have the calls, is just to like even talk with your peers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like we all learn from each other. And I think sometimes as nonprofit leaders, it's smaller teams, right? In the
Yeah.
beginning, it was absolutely just me, and I would be
Yeah.
like the wall, like, oh, does this make sense? And then I'd get on our calls, and I just, one, I hear everyone else struggling with the same thing as me. So
Yeah.
sometimes I seem like, okay, I'm not the only one.
You're
Um,
not the only one that has a lapsed donor or somebody who didn't call them back.
yes,
Like, and I love that about the sprint community. It's so good.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's like such a community. So like for me, I just found so much value in like hearing my peers. And again, I
Yep.
was like kind of a, I don't want to say a one woman show, but just like the day to day very much, was me.
Especially when you're a founder led organization, totally
Yes.
normal is like you're
Yeah,
carrying the weight, right, of your
absolutely.
operations, your admin, your fundraising, your programs,
Yes.
right? And of course, you're bringing
Everything.
in your board and some volunteers for support and maybe some admin
Mhm.
support as you grow. But yeah, where
Mhm.
you're like, yeah, I'm wearing the hats here.
Yes. So it was just like wonderful to get on the calls, hear everyone, and just like run things through and be like,
Yep.
This is where I'm stuck." And of course, you figure it out in like 2 seconds. And, there is value in not staring at things for too long. So I
Yeah.
really just enjoy just that sense of community that you said
Yeah.
around, because it was an adjustment for me, being in a corporate
Yeah.
role where I have access to everything. And, nonprofit, you're like, okay, how do we do this no matter like how much experience I think you have? So
Yeah.
it's just been so wonderful, and it helped us double our fundraising than what we did last year.
That's incredible.
S-
Double.
Double. Working
Double.
a full-time job, being a mom, taking care of Max.
Wow.
And I can't tell you the joy that it brings me to be able, honestly, it's a privilege to lead Maxwell's Toy Box for me.
Yeah.
It's also something that was really put, on my heart, and to be able to help 5,000 children, which
Oh,
is where we're at, given
yeah.
the double impact, it's not just more funding, it's just like more support for kids and families. It just like means the world.
We knew we were gonna cry, you guys. We said it in the green room. I feel like you and I were just like, we're good for some tears. I think about that too. I think about the stressed out parent who has multiple children, has one child going
Mhm,
through this, who has no idea. They don't know what they don't know. Like they're Googling resources. That's another thing that
mhm,
you're really excellent at providing. Who financially is already trying to figure out how to do this. And now you add the burden of this treatment, the relief. It's like a palpable relief to be like, here's a gas card. Here's a toy for you, and here's a toy for your two siblings. Like we'll just cry. It's fine. But like
all the time.
that is some of the most important work there is out there. And for
Mhm,
you to say, I'm gonna do this and I'm going to figure out how to scale this up because it's almost like beta testing. So year one, you're beta testing. You're like, I have a theory, and then you
mhm,
kind of run it through the first hospital. You run it through the first round of kids, right? And you're like, this is working. And then to go, okay, let's scale it up. Okay, well, we need more funding to do it. So
mhm.
let's talk about how you were funded before and then what changed to double your funding year over year.
Yeah. Um, Honestly, in the beginning, it was just really begging her family and friends, like, "Hi, it's me again.
Yeah.
Here's what we're doing. We got another toy drive." And once I joined, which again, I'm so grateful for, that peer to peer
Yeah.
strategy
Yeah.
that you have, I mean, it is wonderful, right? Like, I can sit here and, in the beginning, I cried a lot on the internet too. There's lots of Instagram videos of like, hey, we're a nonprofit. This is what we're
Hmm.
doing. But it's that like community, right? Of your peer to peer, your
Yeah.
ambassadors to like
Yep.
spread the word. And
Yep.
that really helped us so much. Those peer-to-peers, like, they also helped us with corporate sponsorships and
Hmm.
small business sponsorships and really to get the word out, and, of all people, I am not shy about social media and,
Yeah.
really using that as a strategy too, and it was so wonderful to just, like, brainstorm different ways to do that with
Yes.
you and,
Yes.
like, leverage that
Mhm.
within our
'Cause you've
stories.
had some TikToks go viral and you've done some really great day in the lives, and there's an opportunity to take where people are sort of looking in going, "Oh, this is interesting. I
Mhm,
didn't know about that." They're watching you, right? They're watching you the way that they might consume content like
mhm.
on Netflix, right? But how do we take people from that to donor, right?
Yeah.
That's its own. But that was always something I brought you back to of like, "Hang on, you've got this TikTok audience. Let's use them." So
Yeah.
yeah, working on that, working on the other sort of edge for you was we know that psychologically people are like, which is sort of the toys for tots, right? I'm going to
Mhm,
physically buy a toy and I'm going to give it at the end of the year. I bought the
mhm.
fire truck and then I'm donating the fire
Yep.
truck as a very tactile way of giving. But
Yes.
how do we bridge that into I'm not going to buy the fire truck. I'm going to donate $50 because at scale, right? It's much more
Mhm,
scalable and there's cost reasons why we're better served for a donation. And so again, sort of moving away while still doing the toy drives at certain points, but also
mhm,
moving away from strictly that to donate, donate dollars, right? Because so those were a couple of the shifts that I
mhm,
noticed too in your campaigns where, we're just sending people exactly to a donation page to make it a
mhm.
gift.
Yeah, absolutely, and, just in having the conversations with you, I actually went to, a few different, like, manufacturers and distributors, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, we're a nonprofit, can you get us some toys at cost?" And then, they were like, "Absolutely." So, but then it's like, "Okay, we can actually double our impact." We actually donated 8,500 toys last year in
Wow.
2025, so and we were able
Wow.
to do that because of those, like, negotiated costs, so,
That's right.
yeah, so it's just, it's great to have, like, a strategic partner to just chat through. Because, like I said, sometimes when you're
Hmm.
just staring at something for so long and obviously you have the expertise, it's just nice to be able to do that, it's just been honestly amazing.
Yeah. Tell me what that funding has made possible that wasn't possible
Mhm.
before.
So, we donated a total of $9,100 to families directly.
Wow.
Through,
Mhm.
grocery gift cards,
Yep.
gas gift cards, and then the toys for, all the children in the household. We have our, volunteers created 4,064 joy packages. So that's 4,000 children in a chair receiving chemo that received that sensory tool to get through the stress.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry again. The stress and anxiety of treatment, and then the 8,500 toys, that also went to the hospital during seasons when they were completely out, right?
Yeah.
So that is what that did, and it's just, yeah, it's sometimes I'm still like, my mind is blown that just, like, the impact.
Does Maxwell think of it?
Oh my gosh, I have so many pictures of him where he'll take a toy and he's like, "Oh, mama, take a picture for Maxwell's toy box." He is so proud of it, Christina.
Yeah.
He he calls I mean, everyone is his friend. He's like a golden retriever, and then my 3-year-old little girl is like a black cat. She does not talk to anyone, but he is like, "We're doing this for my friends at the hospital." So we will do, quarterly drop-offs at the hospitals, and like, "Mama, we didn't go." And I'm like, "Well, we're going in like 2 months," you know?
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and he's like, "Okay, well, don't forget we have to go." It's just, like, crazy to me at, the age 5 and even, like, when he was, like,
It's his
4.
business. He's
Yes,
like, yeah,
100%.
it's on his heart. I love it. I love the
Yeah.
pride too. Yeah.
Yeah, he truly is just the most incredible little boy,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Just the best.
Let's talk about your identity shift in the past year. Like, how have you changed your relationship with fundraising?
Mhm.
Have you changed your relationship with leading this organization? What's that like now?
In the beginning, I will say I feel like I definitely had, a learning curve.
Yeah.
I thought I don't know if I should say this, but I will always be honest and transparent, which is always my rule, but, I was like, "Oh, like, you know, it won't be hard. I can do this,"
Yeah.
which is true. I can do things, but, so in the beginning, very much kind of was nervous to, like, ask for money, right? Because it's such a, like, it can be a weird thing.
Yeah.
But then, obviously, like, through your coaching and mentorship, and then once I really started to see the impact that we were having, and then that
Hmm.
we can have, and the gaps that we fill, it's like, "You know what, Dina? This is not about you, right? We
Yep.
can do
Yep.
hard things." And Max is always both Max and Lena are always my inspiration for everything, and I'm like, "You know what? Max is fighting every day. I can do this. This is the least I
Yeah.
can do, right?"
Yeah.
So, in the beginning, like I said, there are lots of learning curves, which is all good. That's how we
Yeah.
learn and develop that way. So, yeah, but it's like, you know what? It is not about me. If someone says no, that's okay, right? You
Hmm.
hopefully move on to another donor or to another opportunity. But that was probably like my biggest shift. And like I said, he really inspired me and like, okay, he's going through like really hard things. And I know the direct impact that this will make for the family. So just do it. It's
It
kind
is
of
sort of
what I
like
got
when
to.
you get out of your own way, get out of your own head.
Yes.
Yeah, it does loosen, right?
Yes.
And I'm curious what you would say to yourself before joining. Like, what would you tell her? What would you tell the Dina, a year or so ago?
Just do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
Just do it
Yeah.
and just post it. Stop editing. Just do it. Especially in the beginning, because it is hard to put yourself out there.
Hmm.
And, like we said earlier, like I very much try to use like, social media as part of like our marketing strategy. And
Yeah.
part of it is like, yes, for donations, but my biggest thing too has been just to create awareness around what cancer families have to go through. And, that's what inspired the like day in the life of videos and like this is what it looks like. It's not pretty, right? And I've always been a big fan of just being like transparent and
Yep.
it's not to like be like some sad story, but it's like, no, this is what families are going through. Like we have to show up differently for them every day. And in the beginning I was like, "Oh, no, that picture's no, my hair kind of looks weird and God, like, there's background noise." So I found myself just like maybe probably over editing when
Sure.
I'm
Of course.
you know what, Dina? No. So that I think that's what I would say to the old Dina. Just post it. Just do it.
Hmm.
You know, whatever
What
that
would
thing is, just do it.
and what would you tell her about fundraising? Same or something else?
Don't be afraid. Just do it.
Yeah. Don't be afraid.
Because the
Yeah.
beginning, I was just like, oh my gosh. And especially for me, it was hard to kind of, I've been in corporate for so long. And it's such a shift in like how you do business, right? It's so different. And I'm like, oh gosh, like, is it going to be weird if I ask someone for like a sponsorship or like a
I think
donation?
you
You
bring
know?
up a good point because corporate, you're going through different channels, sort
Yes.
of, you're going, I don't know, from different departments or,
Mhm.
different leadership before something is really public facing or approved or goes through, right? There's a lot of
Mhm.
channels. Specifically with founder led organizations, you're your channel.
Yes.
But the mistake I see people make with founder led organizations is they stay in the loop of what I
Mhm.
call draft mode, which you just described, or they go to the board. And the
Mhm.
problem is typically with founder led organizations, especially like under year 5, the board is usually friends, family. The board is not your
Mhm. Yeah.
your your, A plus board, right? And so
Uh-huh.
you end up asking like your
Yes.
buddy, your neighbor, your friend, and like no one
Yes.
knows what they're doing in the sense of no one is like, here's
Yeah.
what's working now. And this is where we sort of get in the loop of the grant and gala, or we just get in the loop of the
Yes.
draft mode. And so a long way for me to say, yeah, it starts and ends with you, right? And the
Yes.
quicker you can just
Mhm.
go, what's in service of the mission? Picking up the
Mhm.
phone and calling again, sending another email, asking for asking the local business to
Mhm.
sponsor, even though I'm not running it by anyone. No one's read this pit, right? And so that's the part of me that loves coaching because I'm like, you
Yes.
can run it by me. Most likely, the
Yeah.
veterinarian on your board is not going to be the person who's going to help you fundraise, with
Yeah.
this pitch. And so it's really it is it is math and it is mindset. So it's like,
Mhm.
how much do I want to
100%.
ask for is the math, but the mindset
Mhm.
is help me get out of my own way.
Yes. Yeah. I think there was also one email that I sent. I'm pretty sure I asked like in the beginning, of like, "Oh, I'll take $50,000." And they're just like,
Yeah.
"Okay, what?" Again, I have big aspirations for Maxwell's Toy Box,
Yeah.
but yeah, absolutely. It's just like, just kind of get out of, your own way and, just do it.
Tell us about what is coming down the pipeline. What does the next 6 to 12 months look like
Mhm.
for your organization?
Yeah. So we are gearing up our fundraising season. So
Yeah.
spring, summer is really good to us in terms of fundraising. So we have actually our $10 Brave Bag campaign happening right now. So that is the sensory toys that children receive while they're getting chemo. We're going to do a few little micro events so that we
Mhm.
can really get to know our amazing donors, which we are so grateful for, and they can get to know us.
Mhm.
And then our goal uh, is to double again this year what
Mhm.
we did last year. So
Love it.
hopefully, we'll have a good update at the end of the year.
Amazing.
We are supporting 4 children's hospitals in the Chicagoland area, and just like Atlanta, we're so lucky that we have I mean, God bless, like, we have such awesome children's hospitals and nurses and doctors and Child Life and everyone,
Yeah.
but we will hopefully add on 1 more hospital to support
That's huge. That's
this
so
year.
exciting.
So it's, yeah, it's just such a blessing. God is amazing.
I'm so excited. This is a big year. This is a big year for
Yes,
you, no
yeah.
doubt. Anything else you want to share before we wrap up this beautiful conversation?
For anyone listening that's maybe, like, not sure, just do it. Just join the program. Don't be afraid to just, get some help, especially if you're in your, kind of your founding years. It is amazing how much, you can learn by just working, with others and with experts like Christina. So, I'll definitely say that. And I'm just so grateful for our family, our friends, our donors, anyone and everyone who's listened to our story, who's made a
Yeah.
donation. We have not paid any salaries in 2025, and 100% of what we have fundraised went all to the families and children's. I'm so so grateful for that. And yeah, so just thank you to anyone and everyone that's supported us.
Well, with that, I have 2 more questions. One is, where can everyone connect with you? I feel like is TikTok still, like, your best platform, or are you over on
Yes.
IG, or, like, where do you like to be?
Yeah. We are on all social media platforms, even LinkedIn. So you can look up Maxwell's Toy Box,
Okay,
and then you can always connect with me as well. It's just Dina Besic on all of the social media channels.
perfect. And we ask all of our guests if they would
Mhm.
share with us one thought they like to think on purpose, a mantra, an affirmation, just a quote, anything
Mhm.
resonant with you. Would you share yours with our listeners?
Yeah. The thing that always anchors me back to all the things is my kids are watching me. So how I show up, kind of like the core values that I hope not just me, but like my husband too,
Yeah.
wonderful, is teaching them we can do hard things, but we can also do a lot of really good things and bring a lot of joy. They really are my anchor in everything that I do, and I'm just always like, gosh, they are watching me. So I got to keep showing up.
Wow, that's a really beautiful one. That one speaks to me a lot because, yes, kids are so impressionable, but, like, for them to see, especially a mom, a
Mhm.
woman say, "This is really hard, and here's what I'm doing. And this is hard for all of us, and I'm founding this organization. Let's go." And the collective impact that everybody in your family and your
Mhm.
friends and your community and your donors and your volunteers have made is
Mhm.
so significant that there's another organization I work with, and they are in year 36.
Oh, well.
And the founders, husband and wife, co-founded this
Mhm.
organization, are still very involved in the organization. One of the founders just
Mhm.
passed. That's why I'm pausing. and their son is now on
Oh,
the board. And it's one of the just like most, I don't know, like he's
yeah.
probably my age, he's probably in his 40s, and he's just so connected to the cause. And I said, we got to interview him. And so they interviewed him for a piece to send out to
Mhm.
donors. And hearing his story, because guess what? He was watching them the
Was
whole
yeah.
time. He was like, yeah, I remember mom and dad. And it's like, no one said you got to be on the board at all,
Right.
to my knowledge. But he was like, I want to be on the board. I want to be involved. This is
Yeah.
really important to me. And so they're watching. And like, I just think about him and I'm like, yeah, he's in his 40s. And he's like, no, my parents are retired. I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's help this community. And so, like, yeah, they're watching and like in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story. I know that it's your story, it's personal, and I
Mhm.
really appreciate your honesty. And I think what you're doing is really, really incredible. I think about
You know,
cancer families a lot, and it's just like their world gets turned upside down. And like I said, you can have the best doctors and nurses, but that's like a slice of it, right? And I
absolutely.
think you're bringing that other slice that is so needed to
Mhm.
everybody.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you so much too. Um, yeah, I'm excited for our next meeting. So I'm
Let's
ready.
go.
Yeah.
Yes, let's go. All right, everyone. We will see you next time. Thank you, Dina.